2 of our journey saw me cover the hypothetical route from the south coast before reaching Shawford Junction, where we followed the trackbed to the former Winchester Chesel station. From there, we stopped short of Worthy Down Halt in part 2, which is where I'm going to pick up the action. So I'm on the final approaches to Worthy Down Station now. You can't really see it, but the bridge is just behind all these trees in front of us, and it's literally only, what, 200 yards, 300 yards, if that. Now, I've been told that there's the remains of a signal post, a stub of a signal post, this side, the Winchester side of Worthy Down Station. I've completely failed to spot it last time I was here. So, let's see if we can go for second time lucky. I don't know which side it is, that's the problem. I mean, I've been looking back that way, there's definitely nothing that way, and I think that's too far away from Worthy Down itself. I think, so what's this over here? Yeah, this looks like it. It looks very stub-like, doesn't it? So, yeah, we've got our metal, and we've still got some of the mechanism attached, look, and some wire. That's pretty good, isn't it? So we found the stub that I was told about. I must have literally walked straight past that. And it'd be interesting to know. So that must be a down signal. Station's up there. We've got our track here. Must be a down signal, although I know there were a few sidings around here. I think the best thing to do is to have a look at a track diagram, or even see if we've got an old picture, because I may be able to find a picture and identify that signal. I couldn't find a photo, but the 1943 track diagram shows this signal here, which has to be our stub, which I found, and it is in fact an up signal controlling movements into Worthy Down Station and loops from the short-lived branch joining the southwestern main line at Winchester Junction. Now, after my visit to look for the signal stub, my attention was drawn to this signal on the upside, when photos of another stub different to the one I'd found emerged. This undated overhead photo shows the two signals opposite each other. The one I had found located here, whereas the remains of the other stub are of this one. This photo, kindly donated to me, shows what's left of that up stub today. Now, up on the bank on my left is a Ministry of Defence Centre. It used to be RFC during the First World War, Royal Flying Corps. And this bridge carries the road which led to that. Although I don't think it's really used today. And looking at this bridge, it's actually quite wide, isn't it? So as we move into, oh no, I've just seen, is this another signal post? Looks a lot smaller than the other one, but it's definitely metal. It's a post of some description. And then next to that is a wooden post, ivy clad, but I think that's a great candidate for the railway. This little used road here is the road which leads up to the bridge, which crosses the line. You got the former RFC, today's MOD building over the other side. Doesn't look at all used. But here I think we've got the entrance to the station, and this is my interpretation of it. I need to look at the maps though. But straight away we've got some broad gauge track there, obviously reused as fencing, and another load there, and some ironwork there as well. So let's walk down towards our station site. We've got lots of ironwork. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and retrace the route. Actually, I think I should be over that side anyway. We've got another concrete unknown thing there, same as the one that was back there. So we walk along here, our original footpath, hopefully, to the station. In here we got a brickwork base to an unknown building. It's very difficult to see. Let's go around the corner, see if I can see some brickwork. And you can just see some there. So that's a brickwork base to, I don't really know what this is, but this is my conjecture. We've got quite a bit of brickwork around here. And then here is where the signal box was. You can just see the brickwork of the base there, and the recess underneath, which is where all the interlocking mechanics of the signal box would have been located, the relay room and all that sort of thing, I think it was called. This is where it was located. So you've got the recess, the brick base of the signal box, and then our box would have risen up here. So let's go back onto our passenger entrance. So we'll turn left down here, passing our signal box on our left. And then we come to some more buildings. And if we go track side, track bedside I should say, you can see once again we've got another brick base. Now, you had to get your ticket from somewhere, I'm just assuming. There's some brickwork here. So we come up here into this building here. So there's a line of bricks. So was that a wall? Anyway, we've got some tarmac here, or it's certainly a metal surface. So we walk up here, we've got some buildings here. I'm assuming we're inside now. Get our ticket, any information, etc. We've got a concrete plinth is that, and then we've got like a smaller building here. Remember, this is just my interpretation. And then we've got a little gap between these two buildings. Is that a step I can see just there? So we'll step down onto the crossing, make sure there's no trains coming, and then up onto our platform. This photo of Worthy Down a few years after the tracks had been lifted shows those buildings in their former glory. Firstly, the unknown one, then the signal box, and finally the small ticket office. Additionally, it also shows this white post, which could be a candidate for the wooden ivy covered post, which I found just a few moments ago. Worthy Down started life in 1918 as a single platform station, predominantly serving the adjacent Royal Flying Corps depot, as it was then. As you can see, a couple of loops were provided to act as sidings. In 1943, however, as I've mentioned previously, the Didcot, Newbury and Southampton line received a huge upgrade in order to enable a large increase in traffic to the south coast ports during the build-up to D-Day, and Worthy Down was no exception. The platform was rebuilt to accommodate an additional down line, utilising the former loop as the now up line, while the building which I investigated on my walk to the station were also constructed, the middle one being a signal box, as I suspected, and the northern one a small booking office. Here you can see the disused road which crosses the bridge toward the now Ministry of Defence site, and also the footpath I took onto the platform. From this, the upside, you can see that the brickwork of the platform and the platform edging stones are in very, very good condition still, considering this has been closed for a good 60 years. Walking down the slope of the northern end of the platform, I'll leave Worthy Down behind and continue along the track bed. The line here would still be double, I think, before reverting back to its single track after the next bridge, just a little bit further on. So we've come to an area where our track bed, I think it's over there in these trees. It's hard to determine with all this vegetation, but obviously it clearly isn't the hill that's been built here. However, over here, look, maybe I can get in. So is this the track bed down here? Because I think ahead of me is an area known as the Groves, the Droves, and I think it's an old drover's track or something like that, which used to go over the line, which means there must be a bridge of some description. Let's get over here. Here we go again into the wilds. Now I think this is the track bed, but it's impenetrable. I could see a fence post through there. Let's climb up on top. Oh look, there's a bit of brickwork there. Trouble is I don't want to go in. Let's climb up on top and see if we can see any clues. So let's climb this hill, and this should take us up on top of the track. So the question is there a bridge, or was there a bridge in there? Obviously looking on maps will be the best indicator. And also, is it going to be too vegetated up? And it is, it's very vegetated. So what have we got? Well, our track bed, I don't know if you can see through there, is definitely down there. So this must have been a bridge of some description. Whether it's been knocked down, and I can't really get through there, but you can see it drops to where the track bed area was. The National Library of Scotland overhead shows the current area quite clearly, the track bed obvious as it heads north. The bridge in question could be found here on Ox Drove. Now, a return to the 1898 map shows there was indeed a bridge here, so it's obviously been eradicated. My route forward is now blocked at this point, so I'll be following this footpath to see if anything remains of the next bridge, which could be found on Alresford Drove. So I've managed to regain our track bed again. If you look over there, you can see the line of trees depicts the track bed as it heads north towards Sutton Scotney, which is a couple of miles in that direction. So if we look, the land drops here, but our track bed sits up there on top of that bank, so it must have gone right across here in what would have been an overbridge. Now where Tony's standing in front of me, that's pretty much where our track bed would have been. So you'd expect some evidence of a bridge pretty much where Tony's standing. So let's just let this van go past. So if we look over here, we've got a wooden fence, clearly a modern build. Can't see beyond that. On the other side, we've got a slight bank, but nothing that's going to raise us up to the level. So I think this has been completely landscaped away. Now if we walk a little bit further down Alresford Drove, which is the name of this road, we'll come to a slight anomaly, because where Tony was, there's no evidence of a bridge. However, if you look on the opposite side of the road, we have some brickwork. Now, did that used to extend all the way along? Is it something completely different? And if we look beyond these deadly nettles, we got more evidence of brickwork. So again, our footpath that we're on, this is Stainer's Lane, joins up with the track bed. That's looking south towards Kingsworthy and Worthy Down, and that's looking north towards Sutton Scotney. However, there's a bit of an anomaly here, because I'm going to check again, but I'm pretty certain that the map said that there was a bridge here. Now if you look, the level of the ground is dropping that way. I've just had a wander up there. In fact, you can probably see there's an edge, a lip to the ground, and then it drops up there. Now I said there should, I think, have been a bridge here. So has all this area here been filled in for the purposes of the farmer? Have we got a cutting down there? Because up there we got a cutting, and down there it looks very much like we got a cutting. Mysteries. Once again, the National Library of Scotland answers my question. The line, as you can see, is visible in orange, while the mystery bridge on Stainer's Lane is a bizarre zigzag over the line, and it clearly existed. And my best bet is that it still exists beneath where I was standing. This is Worthy Lane, just to the south of Sutton Scotney, and for the first time since leaving Worthy Down Station, we come across some intact infrastructure, and it's quite impressive. Look at the abutment there. This is the north side, so that's going into Sutton Scotney itself, and looking up there we've got the parapet, so all that's missing is the decking of the bridge itself, which I would imagine would have been metal girders. And then we got the south side there, which is in just as good condition. It's a shame we can't get up there. So I'm now in the village of Sutton Scotney. We've got this bit here which is quite deceiving, because it could look like it's a repurposed part of the track bed. I'm in the sun there, that's quite horrible, isn't it? A repurposed part of the track bed, but I think the actual track bed would have run through these trees just the other side of there. And then we've got this very short bit which we can access. It doesn't show anything, but this is Harding Close. And our line, I'm pretty certain, would have gone in here. And if you look, there should be, there's one, so you've got a, I think that's a railway boundary fence post there. And although the light, it drops down there, doesn't it? It might have been landscape, so maybe this is the track bed. And maybe the map is a little bit out, but we've definitely got some boundary posts here, and the land is quite flat there, so I'd probably go as to say that this is the track bed, what I'm standing on now, and then the modern road turns to the right and our line would have continued straight ahead of us towards Sutton Scotney. So I've come around those houses from Harding Close and now I'm on the next part of the track bed, and we've got Wonston Road here, and this is a bridge that used to go over the line, so I'm walking down now to the track bed. We're right on the fringe of Sutton Scotney station, which was literally just behind where that fence is today, but this is quite good, isn't it? So we got the bridge that would have edged Sutton Scotney station, and I wonder, let's see if I can poke the camera through. Put it up. And that's the track bed coming from Worthy Down Halt. So we can, as I'm where I'm standing is bang on the track bed now. And it's good that that bridge is still there, because that could easily have been got rid of. So as Wonston Road comes down, we can see original fence posts, and there's quite a few of those. So this was obviously been railway land where I'm walking now, and as I said, our station would have been in there, which is now yet another housing estate. So let's see if I can get up on the bridge. It's quite a bit, not it's a busy road, but not too busy, so I think I'm happy to do that. As our original boundary fence posts, and you can see, so I'm coming up onto the crest of the bridge now. Let's have a look on the downside first. So we're up on the bridge, and let's pop the camera over. There's not a great deal to see. You can see our track bed there, and it's a shame I can't get down onto that. And obviously it stretches south that way, but there's trees in the way. I just noticed on the brick we've got a maker's mark. What does that say? Joseph Hamlet, West Bromwich. So that's come quite a distance. That's the West Midlands. And then if we cross to the other side, we have where Sutton Scotney station used to be. Let's take a look at where the station would have sat in today's landscape. Now, opened in 1885, the two platforms were located, as you can see, and with the rest of the line it temporarily closed in August 1942 to enable the wartime upgrade, reopening in March the next year. Alas, today absolutely nothing remains, the only reminders being the name of the adjacent road, Station Drive, and the current houses which align with the station and siding. Sutton Scotney station closed in March 1960.